Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, Hobbit.
That's it. Play the theme tune.
We have a great audience.
Show's going on. Great audience. The best audience.
They're all saying that.
Some people
It's
say,
literally just Craig going greetings.
Some people say they have the best audience, but they're wrong. They're wrong. I know the great audience. The great audience, and I know that
Rumble's
for a
got to check
fact
that I'm
because they have
human
right
before I
there.
look at my own screen. Oh yeah, we're live. We're live everywhere. Probably live on D Live, but I can't be bothered to sign in. So if you are watching on D Live, sorry about you. Sorry that you have to watch stuff on D Live.
They never ask if I'm human. They say, "Whoa, stop that right now. We know you're human. You're too human for us." And I say, "I'm not too human for anybody." Could a robot do that? We got some great news. Some great news. I'm going to announce the news right now. I talked to my top guys at NASA, and I said to them, "What are these magnets? What are these magnets?" And nobody's got an answer for me. So I rang up the guy, the clown guy from that rap show, and I said to him, "I'm sorry, guy. We don't have the answer for you. We don't know what magnets are." He's going to get an Emmy for that song. He's going to get an Emmy. They're going to say, "You're right all along. No one knows what magnets are. We're all baffled by magnets. We don't know what they are. We don't know." I even asked Elon Musk, and he said, "I don't know. Nobody knows what they are. These magnets, they're crazy. No one knows what they're for." So, magnet news, everybody. Have you heard about the magnet news? That was President Donald Trump himself talking about magnets. He joined us for a bit. It's very nice to. Well, you guys agree.
In the immortal words of Shaggy Two Dope and Violent J, fucking magnets. How do they work? Even the President of the United States doesn't know how magnets work.
As I was saying, I talked to my top guys, and they just said we don't know. So I came to Fortean Words because I know you guys. They hear the truth. And you got to get the news out there. You got to let the people know. You got to fight for it. No one knows what magnets are. We don't know how they work. Nobody knows how magnets work. And I know some great guys, but they don't know how they work. No one knows. Can you believe Donald Trump joined our show just to talk about magnets?
Oh, no.
It's an incredible honor. By the way, no, we weren't able to. That was pre-taped for us. He wasn't going to answer any questions. He just wanted to tell us the very important thing about magnets and said, we had
to stop him telling us how great Chinese immigration was.
It's a great Fortean subject. No one knows about magnets. No one wants to know about my immigration policy. We want to uncover the truth about magnets. If you can figure out the truth about magnets, you get unlimited free energy. You can explore the stars. But you don't know magnets, Fraser. You don't know. Not even the guys in the Insane Clown Posse know what magnets are. And that's why we're stuck here. And that's why we got to have 50-year loans.
50-year loans. Oh, jeez.
You see, if we could figure out what magnets are, Donald Trump's talking to me right now, and he's saying, "You're a tough guy. You got to figure out what the magnets are." And I was like, "But Trump, I don't know what the magnets are. I'm just a hobbit. I think magnets are pretty neat, but I've never got that's just excuses. You got to figure out what the magnets are. What are you doing with your life?"
They're magic. It's just magic. Fucking magic. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Yeah.
If you want to be remembered in this life, you got to figure out what magnets are. So yeah, I know magnets. Just how do they work? I'm genuinely asking.
Johnson more questions that the Clown Posse pose in the song Miracles.
I mean, magnets.
Oh, fucking geniuses!
That's all I need. What about AZ lyrics?
Also things that the ICP don't understand: hot lava, snow, rain, and fog. Long-necked giraffes pet cats and dogs.
Oh yeah. What even is hail? You know. How's hail made?
Actually, that is a good question.
The sun and the moon, even Mars, the Milky Way, and fucking shooting stars, UFOs, and river flows. Plant a little seed and nature grows. Niagara Falls and the pyramids, everything you believed as kids. Fucking rainbows after it's rained. There's enough miracles here to blow your brains.
I think even Frank Sinatra was asking about that with Jupiter and Mars, and they whacked him for it.
I fed a fish to a pelican at Frisco Bay. It tried to eat my cell phone. He ran away.
What? A pelican ran?
A pelican ran away. It didn't fly away. It ran away from ICP.
And the pelican, it ran away.
Let's should we have the full quote in context from ICP?
I think it's time.
Stop and look around. It's all astounding. Water, fire, air, dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist. You old motherfucker's lying and getting me pissed.
What? You're saying he goes to the scientists and, like, whenever he asks them about magnets, he'll be like, here, drink some of this.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's the American version of pissed, which is different from the English version.
And then, like, 5 minutes later, and he's like, but what do you mean you don't love cats?
Do you know other miracles that have happened to Shaggy and Violent J? Shaggy's little boys look just like Shaggy, and my little boy looks just like Daddy. How fucking weird is that?
No dog child, is it?
What are they implying here?
Well, Hobbit. When a man loves a
here?
woman and another man loves the same woman.
Who's the ones whose daughter is a furry and got scammed for the first?
That's Shaggy. Shaggy in it too, dope, isn't it? I think. No, it is Violent J, isn't it? The fat one.
Is Violent J the one that violently microwaves cheese?
Violent J's the chef.
Oh God! Do you know what's sad? And this is.
Have you ever seen that video, Fraser, where Violent J microwaves whatever the fuck he was making?
Portugal violently microwaves cheese. But can I just say it was really so. For those of you not know, there's this late rock star, gothic band boy of Casper, Wyoming, called King Cobra JFS, and the F stands for Fay, by the way, which is like the beverage done by the ICP called Faygo. And you'd think with a name like that, he would be a juggalo, but Cobra never went to a juggalo festival. And I'm just like, you're missing out. Imagine if Cobra had done some dank food hacks with Violent Bob. But now it will never happen.
Fraser, I've found it. This is the most delicious looking meal you have ever seen, isn't it, Hobbit?
Is it as good as Mountain Dew?
To be fair, Shaggy's meal looked pretty rank as well, didn't it?
Or is it as dank as deep farted avocados?
Probably worse. Oh, Snake Busters. That was it, Hobbit. Do you remember that? Snake Busters.
Yeah, these guys are snakes.
Yeah, the snakes. Fucking snakes.
Fuck you, fucking snakes.
So that's that.
Are we the official podcast of the Insane Clown Posse?
We can be if you want.
Because, I mean, Donald Trump, he came on our show.
Yeah.
It was very nice of him to come on our show and said, you guys, I heard you're fans of the Insane Clown Posse. I am too. Now, many people know this. I'm a juggalo. It's true. No, it's true.
Yeah. We've cracked the code.
They're the greatest people alive. And they're asking the question, magnets, how do they work? They were asking it way before Isaac Newton was asking it. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Do you think shark scientists know?
Well, he's a marine biologist, isn't he? He's not going to know.
I suppose not.
I mean, you'll get back to him in 5 months.
Do you think we could like sign a research paper about the sharks drink?
Yeah.
You
Do sharks drink Fago?
Yeah. Shark drinks water. Do they drink water?
Well, we could do a study, maybe starting with shrimp, where we put them on treadmills and give them Fago and see if it improves everything. Have you heard this thing about where they gave the US marine biology thing? They spent $15 million on shrimp treadmills.
Is that all?
Well, they're on a budget. They weren't going to give them the latest treadmills with the Blu-ray players, the ones that only play a movie so long as you're running.
Fucking hell, Insane Clown Posse is still doing Hallowicked shows in 2025. Fuck me.
Yeah. Well, what did you expect?
I don't know. They're ancient.
They gotta pay the
they're
bills.
both about 60, aren't they?
Yeah, but those fursuits aren't cheap, Pemmy. Yeah. Somebody's got to pay for the bills.
Yeah, the snakes sell them, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah. Did she ever get her fursuit sorted out?
I don't know. Snake Busters was a very short-lived series.
Guys, I gotta get right back.
Oh, did you know?
I gotta go now.
Do you know Insane Clown Posse did a thing called Insane Posse Theatre with Tom Green?
JD Vance, he said, "You want to play
Green,
Risk with me?" Oh God, I can't stand Tom Green. Oh. Did you ever see Freddy Got Fingered?
No.
I've never forgiven him for that film. By the way, Tom Green touched a horse penis. I just think people ought to know this.
Eminem told me he humped a dead moose.
He probably did that too, but he is there is video footage of Tom Green touching a horse penis to completion.
Oh, someone's debunked Insane Clown Posse's miracles, but it's 50 minutes, so we're not watching that shit. Ooh, I'll be all right. Okay, then Hobbit's disappeared. We'll wait till it gets back. Yeah. Yep. That is a highly delicious meal that Violent J cooks in that video. The Valentine's Day commercial one.
Let's give it a look.
You want to watch it? It's called the Joe Bowl. It starts from about a minute in. The deliciousness.
That's right.
Yeah, so he basically just puts so like the flimsiest plastic bowl you can think of. He puts Cheetos, cheese, and beans in it, and then puts it in the microwave for about 5 minutes. I think the melted bowl is part of the flavour. I'm just explaining to Fraser the concept of the Joe Bowl. It's where you get the plastic. Plastic is all part of the ambience, isn't
it? Well, you see, it's what gives.
Who is Tom Green? He was married to that bird out of E.T. Drew Barrymore. So he was married to Drew Barrymore, and he was like super famous for like a hot minute on MTV, weren't he?
Did you say he was Drew to marry Barrymore?
Maybe I said that. I might have said that. Yeah. I'm quite tired and I feel a bit bleh. So I could well have said that.
You're tired and emotional.
Yeah. Sharks don't get cancer. They don't get Alzheimer's either. So that's why you breed them with big brains and it always works out well. Do you remember the premise for Deep Blue Sea?
No.
Oh, the premise for Deep Blue Sea is we'll have this underwater facility and we'll breed sharks with huge brains and it will all work out fine in the end.
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that? It's like, the predators found out there's this thing called autism and they were like, oh, we're going to hunt little autistic spackers.
And now they just stay.
They
just stay on the spaceship and they don't go and attack anybody.
Well, you see, now that they stay on the spaceship and they play Factorio.
and Satis faggotry.
Satisfactory.
Yeah. Satisfactory.
Don't lie to me. Come and help me build steel beams in my factory.
Oh, Tina the Engine Lady. Everybody search for Tina the Engine Lady.
No, don't. She's my waifu.
You'll have a great time. She's Turley's waifu. Right, are we ready? Oh boy, howdy! Are we ready to talk about some riots?
Wow, yeah. I mean, you know, Donald Trump. He said, "I'm going to raise the roof for those guys. I'm going to go on the BBC."
He famously said, "We're going to go down there and we're going to fight like hell." Oh no, he didn't say that, did he? The BBC spliced them together because they're lying bar stewards.
We're going to go down there. We're going to pay £250 a year for the TV license.
Is Interdimensional Lizard right that Donald Trump, are you going to rename them Maganets?
Maganets. Oh,
yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Maganets.
Yeah.
We're going to make magnets great again. That's right, Interdimensional Lizard. You know it. You've probably got the inside information, but you are a shape-changing reptilian.
So, right, so this is from the Fortean Times. So this is a series of riots that are kicked off by weird shit. So the first one is the London ghost riots we're going to talk about. So the FT has covered these a number of times, with one of the earliest and most disastrous examples taking place in Hammersmith in 1804. Then a semi-rural village on the outskirts of London. That's amazing, isn't it? Just 200 years ago, it was a semi-rural village on the outskirts of London. Hammersmith was a maze of dark lanes interspersed with fields, trees and footpaths, but it still managed to have a rowdy nightlife centred on its pubs. It also had St Paul's Church with its graveyard. For several months from October 1803, pranksters, local rumour and lurid press reports led to packs of armed and overexcited young men roaming the area to try and catch a ghost, allegedly seen flitting around the churchyards and lanes, while watchmen and parish constables ineffectually attempted to rein them in. This being before police forces were established. 200 years ago, there were no police. It's amazing how quick things went downhill, isn't it? And now you're being arrested for mean tweets on the internet.
I wanted to go on Twitter and find out more about what Donald Trump had to say about magnets.
Yeah.
And trending in the United Kingdom, Pope Francis, Storm Claudia, shingles.
Yeah. Oh, why
people are talking about shingles? Hot shingles in your area. You don't share.
Hot shingles? You mean?
Hot shingles.
Oh, there's literally people talking about.
So you can't even write in St Paul's churchyard anymore. You try writing in St Paul's churchyard now, but it's political correctness gone mad.
The pushing of all these. That's funny. My mum had a jab and then she got shingles. So they're saying in the NHS they're offering a shingles jab.
Yeah.
Someone saying absolute arse gravy. I've had shingles and it's excruciating. The pills are not for nerve pain, they're antivirals.
Okay. You can't have there isn't an antiviral pill.
Get the shingles jab. Shingles is an awful, painful disease and the pain can last years. Yeah, but if you get the jab, you're going to get shingles. So, like, you know, I don't want... It's like, look, if you're going to get shingles, then, yeah, it's bad.
If you are going to get shingles, don't get a shingles.
Yeah.
I think that's the best advice we can get, isn't it?
I'm being pestered by my GP surgery to have jabs for COVID, flu, and shingles.
Fucking hell, new invented one. Anyway, back to the rioting. Unrest came to a head on the 3rd of January 1804 when 29-year-old Francis Smith spotted bricklayer Thomas Millwood, 22, walking home in the traditional white clothes and apron of his trade, mistook him for the ghost and shot him dead. Oopsie. London's taste for ghosts inspired misrule. So guns. So what have we lost in the years since 1804? Guns. We've gained police. Urbanised London. Maximilian Spurg says the vax not even once. I can't. We are a comply with all government regulations podcast here, so we couldn't possibly suggest that.
Exactly. No, I mean, we say always follow the advice of your GP and the NHS.
Yes.
And I mean, somebody here, because I'm not saying whether this is true or not, because I'm not a doctor, but they said if you've not had chickenpox, let me try and phrase that correctly. If you get chickenpox as a child, you get shingles later in life. Therefore, the jab may be for you.
I thought you don't. I thought chickenpox meant you don't get shingles.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't have chickenpox, you will get shingles. Because your body's already created the immunity to it. Not that immunity is any better than any products that GlaxoSmithKline put out.
Well, the problem with the chickenpox is it stays dormant in your body for years, and it reactivates the shingles in adult life.
I don't think you're right in that, Hobbit.
No?
No.
Well, my mum had chickenpox as a child, and she gets shingles.
Anyway, so poor old Thomas Millwood got shot dead because they thought he was a ghost. London's taste for ghost-inspired misrule resurfaced throughout the 19th century. In 1867, several young men ended up in court for creating a disturbance in Woburn Square after reports of a ghost seen in one of the houses attracted a large and excited crowd that turned violent when police tried to clear the area. Well, the next year, an alleged ghost in Cromwell Terrace, Paddington, drew a similarly unruly crowd that resisted dispersal by police. In 1895, it was the Church of St John in Hackney that was the centre of another ghost riot, with over 1,000 men and women turning out in a rowdy crowd, hunting a ghost in a sheet that had been spotted in the churchyard late at night. Carrying lamps and candles and armed with sticks and stones. Sticks and stones may hurt my bones, may break my bones, but when I'm a ghost, then won't hurt me. They swarmed the graveyard, trampling graves, overturning memorials, while mischief makers periodically shouted, "There it goes!" causing everyone to rush to another part of the cemetery. It took police until daylight to restore order and evict the rioters. In 1900, 1,500 people thronged a house in Edith Villas in West Kensington after a ghost was reportedly seen at the windows. The excited horde attempted to attract the spook's attention. I don't think you're allowed to say that on YouTube. Are you allowed to say a spook on YouTube? I thought that was naughty language. By hurling stones at the house and ended up smashing all the windows before police arrived to break up the crowd and protect the premises. Such phantom rowdiness was not confined to London. In Miamisburg, Ohio, a graveyard ghost sighting in 1884 resulted in over 1,000 heavily armed locals turning out, actually opening fire en masse on what they took to be a floating apparition with little effect. They went on to ransack the tombs of the Vuss family, where they exhumed and destroyed the 3 corpses. As the 20th century progressed, ghosts seemed to prompt less energetic responses, with one in Lamb's Conduit Street in Holborn in 1921 only attracting a crowd of children, although as late as March 1970, the Highgate vampire panic provoked a mass invasion of Highgate Cemetery that needed police intervention. The Highgate vampire, way back in about episode 3 or 4, I think, of this podcast. Do you want to hear about the New York? Go on then.
I was going to say, the Highgate vampire doesn't seem that so long ago, really.
Yeah. That was way back when we had 0. In New York in 1922, it was hats. In the early part of the 20th century, light straw boaters were almost ubiquitous. You seem like the man who's probably owned a straw boater at one time in your life, Hobbit.
What is a straw boater?
It's the hat made of straw that I think it's called a boater, because aren't you supposed to wear it when you're on a boat? Or punts? Is that the hat that punts wear? Is it?
Language.
And punts. Straw boater. It's flat. It's like a flat brim type hat.
Okay. I don't go for hats. Ugh.
Oh, you've got an unusually large bonce, haven't you, Hobbit?
No comment.
Here you go, Hobbit. I'll put one in here for you so you know what a straw boater. That's a straw boater.
Oh, right. Let's see.
You didn't need licenses then either, Craig Wilson says. So where was I? So the ubiquitous summer hats for men, and in the US, a tradition grew up that they should not be worn after the 15th of September, which became known as Felt Hat Day. I don't know whether they used to go around feeling up hats or whether it's made of Felt Hat Day. It also became traditional for anyone wearing a boater after this date to have it snatched from their head, after which the crown was sometimes humorously punched out. As early as 1910, the Pittsburgh Press newspaper was warning that although it was socially acceptable to wreck a friend or workmate's hat, it was not right for a stranger to do so, as that went far beyond the bounds of fun. On the 13th of September 1922, youths in the Mulberry Bend area of Manhattan in New York, I think that actually means youthfully young men, rather than youths as in the modern sense, clearly decided it would be no fun to wait until the official Felt Hat Day 2 days later, and gangs of them took to snatching straw hats from local factory workers and stomping on them. Some, though, made the mistake of trying to do this with dockers.
Workers in a factory?
In a factory, yeah.
Were they making engines?
They're from local factory.
They're making engines in factory.
They sell engine from their local factory.
Don't lie to me. Don't take my boater hat away.
Some, though, made the mistake of trying to do this with dockers, maybe not a good idea, who did not take kindly to it and fought back. The result was a massive brawl that brought traffic on the Manhattan Bridge to a halt until it was broken up by police. Reporting on the riot, the New York Times defended the undeniable right of a man to wear a straw hat in a snowstorm if he so desires, and that this is probably a very young Ben Shapiro said this. It's very libertarian. You must be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want.
He said something very anti-Semitic the other day. He says, you don't have a right to live where your ancestors lived. And I thought, hang on, Israel's got a right to defend itself.
Yes.
That land was promised to me 3,000 years ago.
Yeah. And warned that jail terms or assault charges await rioters if such behaviour does not cease. So jail terms will continue until morale improves. So all that happened was that rioters, many in their teens, switched their attentions to the east side and upper west side, where they raced around the streets destroying hats, with some of the miscreants now armed with large nail-studded sticks for hooking both. Oh, that's going to end well, isn't it? Fucking idiot kids running around with fucking sticks with nails through them.
What's the worst that could happen?
You could have someone's eye out with that, literally. At one point, a mob of at least 1,000 teenagers brought chaos into Amsterdam Avenue, mobbing any straw hat wearer who dared to show their face. This behaviour led to running fights in the street between gangs and hat wearers, resulting in numerous injuries, some needing hospital treatment and many arrests. In all, straw hat rioting continued for 8 days before the gangs either got bored with it, police managed to suppress the disorder, or too few people were wearing boaters to make it worthwhile. The tradition of destroying straw hats after 15th of December continued for a few more years, and one hat wearer was killed during a fight over them in 1924. But the tradition petered out after President Coolidge ignored the deadline, and as boaters slipped out of fashion. So, do you want to hear about the Toronto clown riot?
Oh boy, do you want
to hear a boot? Do you want to hear a boot? The Toronto clown riot.
What? Don't you mean Toronto, Alabama?
No, I mean Toronto. It might be. We'll find out, shall we? While performing in Toronto in early July 1855, clowns from the S.B. Howe's Star Troupe Menagerie and Circus decided to spend the evening of the 12th at the Bordello on King Street belonging to Mary Ann Armstrong. This was a favourite off-duty haunt of volunteer firemen from the Toronto Hook and Ladder Firefighting Company. At some point there was a disagreement between one of the clowns and a firefighter. Did it involve a flower that squirted water? What do you think kicks off a riot between firefighters and clowns, Hobbit? Is it the bucket? Men. Is it the bucket filled with confetti, and then a fireman thought it was water?
That is a fighting words. The confetti filled bucket.
Yeah. So. This led to a major brawl between the two factions that sprawled out into the street and ended up with the clowns soundly beating the firemen, who were forced to retreat. The following day, an unruly crowd turned up at the circus pitch on Fair Green, demanding that one of the clowns, named Myers, be handed over to them. When the Foot Circus refused, they shouted abuse, threw stones and set fire to circus wagons, causing the fire alarm to be sounded. Is it me, or just did it seem like a lot of fun back in the 1800s?
Yeah, the 1800s is the best time.
It was fucking great, wasn't it? You know, going there, setting fire to the clowns, nicking people's hats, shooting ghosts. It's not my fault. I thought he was a ghost. Demanding that one of the clowns... When the circus refused, they shouted abuse, threw stones, etc., etc. However, when the hook and ladder arrived... Oh, no. When the hook and ladder arrived, instead of fighting the fire, they joined the riot, wrecking circus property. Police did nothing to stop the chaos. Like the firefighters, they were members of the city's Protestant Orange Order, the dominant political force in Toronto at the time, so gave the firemen a free hand to take revenge. The order was not restored until Mayor of Toronto called out armed militia to suppress the riot, and it became a key factor in triggering the major reform of law enforcement in the city. That is so funny, and it start a fight with a local fire and firefighters, beat him, and then you place his on fire the next day. That's a great idea.
Well, I assume there was not many women amongst these firefighter men because they fought them, and
maybe that's why they got beat.
Firemen won.
They might have had more women.
Yeah.
You don't get many lady clowns.
Exactly.
No, well, actually, no. I would beg to differ. I'd say that they are. You see, all women are clowns.
I don't really need to know those.
Spooky aviation stories, right? I saw a story the other day. Oh, more riots. Okay.
Well, I've got loads of riots.
I just thought I'd say a quick aviation story that was spooky whilst you were blowing your nose.
Yeah, go on then.
You see that thing about dead air? They say dead air's bad. It's like,
is it?
I know about dead air.
I know all about dead air
on your show.
Oh, Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe leaves dead air.
If you, as they say, over here, it's not dead air anymore. It's Sleepy Joe air. No one likes that Sleepy Joe air. Least of all the children. They really don't like Sleepy Joe. They don't like the air around him. He's got a miasma. He's got a miasma about him. It's bad. It's not very good. My air's great. People say, Donald, how'd you make the air around you so good? And I say, it's just the way I am. It permeates the air around me like magnets. No one really knows how it works. It's a mystery.
Hobbit, do you want to find out about your favourite people, the Dutch?
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about another group of people.
No, the Dutch. Do you want to hear about the Amsterdam eel pulling riot? Yes,
go on then.
A popular Amsterdam entertainment used to be eel pulling or palling proper. I don't know, something in Dutch. This involved stretching a rope over one of the city's canals and hanging a live eel from it. Competitors then sailed underneath and attempted to snatch the slippery eel off the rope without falling into the canal, often with significant financial prizes for the winners. Only the Dutch could come out with a game like this. What do you think to this game that's invented by the Dutch?
I mean, you see, when you're living in the Netherlands, right, there's not much to do. You're surrounded by swamps.
And there's plenty to look at in the local library, though, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean,
you got to do something to pass the time. You can't just spend all your time looking at Colour Climax in the library.
like,
which often contained images of miners, and that is in the Dutch national. No, it's that's the Swedish National Library, isn't it? Is it the Dutch or Swedish?
The Dutch have it too.
Yeah.
You know, Anton de Kloons, he once went to the Dutch National Library. He says, I've got a great idea for a show. It's going to be the best show in the world.
Why are you doing Anton de Kloons, but he's talking in Donald Trump's cadence?
I will go to Jennifer and I will say to them,
I will go to Jennifer. It'd be beautiful.
we will have the big women, the beautiful women. They're going to have the hugest tits in the world, and we're going to show. We'll have
the Lolo with the big boobies. Got big boobies. She got great boobies.
We will have a segment with naked German men to step by the place masturbating. We'll put it there. Just as they're getting into vinegar strokes, we will have the naked Germans.
Naked.
Fuck you, Anton de Kloons. I tried to enjoy that show.
Anton de Kloons. We thought we were getting Anton de Kloons, and we end up with Donald Trump pretending to be Anton de Kloons, don't we?
Anton de Kloons. His idea for a show was like, put the naked Germans right in the middle of it to throw them off in their stroke.
To stop them enjoying it too much.
Get a butt ugly 68-year-old fat German woman saying, "Here, do you want to look at my lovely jubblies?" And they've got veins on them and stuff. Oh,
they're on the floor.
Veins.
I quite like the artistic segment of Eurotrash where they interview these like various artists around Europe, and one of them was this Belgian watercolor painter, but the pigments of all of his paintings were made with cow poo. And then they were dubbing his voice in it. Well, you see, right. So when people say to you, "Oh, your work's a load of shit," I could say, "Yes, it is."
Yeah, the voices were great.
The voices made that show.
Anyway, do you want to hear about the Amsterdam eels? They're they're big eels. They're great eels. They're the best eels.
These eels were never on Eurotrash. They were not that good.
By 1886, though, Palin Proa had been banned by the government on the grounds that it was cruel public entertainment. This did not deter residents living alongside the Lindengracht Canal. That sounds a bit German, doesn't it? Who held an eel.
They're swamp Germans. Hey, just a brief aside. Whilst we're on the subject of Eurotrash.
Swamp Germans. You just got swamp Germans.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. I mean, you know why?
They're the sea Germans. The swamp Germans are the Belgians.
You know why they live in more swamps than the Belgians do. You know why we call them the Dutch, right?
Yeah, the sea Germans.
Well, no, the reason we call them Dutch is because the Germans refer to them as the Deutsch. They refer to themselves as the Deutsch Volk, and the Dutch. Well, they call themselves Nederlanders, which means lowlanders. Yeah. But we just go, well, you're Germans, right?
Well, when you think about swamps, Netherlands, leather means nothing really, doesn't it? It's neither here or there, isn't it?
Well, nethers, like you're sort of nether regions. It means the low regions, doesn't it?
The arse Germans. They're the arse Germans.
Well, that's why they're the swamp Germans, and that's why we call them the Dutch.
So anyway, this didn't stop these people who lived alongside the Lindengracht Canal, who held an eel pulling on the 25th of July, 1886. Fishmongers tied a rope between the houses at numbers 184 and 119. very specific there, and suspended a live eel from it, offering a prize of 6 guilders, almost a week's wages to the successful puller. This soon attracted police attention, and 2 officers cut the rope suspending the eel, which hit a spectator on the way down. Incensed, the spectator laid into the officers with an umbrella, causing the crowd to turn on the police, beating them badly. Drawing their sabres, what a time to be alive, 1886, when your fucking local copper has a massive sword on him. So they
that tradition's kept alive and well in London.
Yeah.
Not by the coppers, though.
Drawing their sabres, the policemen managed to fight their way out, returning with reinforcements at whom the rioters had hurled cobblestones. Fucking hell. Disorder continued until 10 p.m, when rain temporarily brought the imbroglio to an end. But the next day, unrest resumed, and the locals... An imbroglio?
Imbroglio? What is that?
That's a strange turn of phrase, isn't it?
I know. What kind of foreign muck is that?
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's like fucking like old English or something.
Looks Italian to me. But the next day, unrest resumed, and locals laid siege to the police station, trapping the officers inside. Amsterdam authorities, shouldn't that be Dutch authorities? Amsterdam authorities responded by calling in the army. The locals fought back, building barricades and taking to the rooftops, from which they pelted the soldiers with tiles. Literal fucking protest time. The troops responded by opening fire on the rioters with live ammunition, killing 26 and bringing the disorder to a decisive end. 2,000 more rioters were given prison sentences, while the shaken police officers were consoled with free cigars. In 1913, a preserved eel that was claimed to be the one that started the scrap was sold at auction for 175 guilders.
Yeah, that was. I forget what guilder means now.
I assume it just kind of reminds me. It's like gold, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I'm sure guilder means something, and I can't remember. Like the Swiss still have krone, which means a crown, but I'm not sure what a guilder is. Oh, maybe somebody can look it up for me.
Are you ready for the brown dog riots?
I'm sorry, what?
The brown dog riots. This sustained bout of unrest began with a public vivisection of a stray dog at University College London in 1903 by Dr. William Bayliss and Professor Ernest Starling for an audience of medical students. The event, however, been infiltrated by 2 undercover anti-vivisectionists who went on to publicly allege that the procedure was unnecessary and that the animal was insufficiently... Oh shit, they cut it open while it was still alive. That's fucking not on, is it? The animal was...
yeah, shit. Well, considering the 1800s, you're getting your legs chopped off and fucking while you're still awake, you know?
Well, this was their problem. They, it's not often I side with the animal rights people, but I think they might have a point here. They said the animal was insufficiently anaesthetised. This provoked various legal actions by the medics and outrage from animal lovers, supported by the National Anti-Vivisection Society, which made the whole affair something of a cause célèbre. There's a lot of foreign muck in here, isn't there? It culminated in a successful fundraising drive to erect a statue to the dog in Latchmere Recreation Ground, Battersea, South London. This only inflamed things further. The statue was repeatedly attacked by gangs of medical students, leading to fights with Battersea locals who were defending it with the support of a variety of feminists, suffragettes, trade unionists, radical liberals and anarchists. This caused riots, rallies and disturbances in support of both sides to take place intermittently across London, leading to questions asked in Parliament. The statue had to have police protection round the clock until Battersea Council covertly removed it overnight, after which the disturbances died down, but it hasn't been seen since. They must have just melted it down then. There's the problem is I'm siding with the ne'er-do-wells. That isn't a good story, is it?
No.
Well, the thing it's like, you know, people are trying to have fun, and then they're like, "Oh, wait, someone's trying to have fun. Time to send the army in for it."
Is there someone you didn't ask? Is there someone you forgot to ask?
I consent. I consent. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, someone send in the fucking fun police.
The fun army.
So it is an interesting story, right? No, I say it's an interesting story. It's not that spooky,
Yeah.
but it is an aviation story. And as you know, I've been going on this thing for a while now. So
Do you not have any riot stories?
well, it could cause a riot in the world of aviation.
Yeah.
But there are talks, and there's even like a case scenario where, for short haul flights, a hybrid aircraft may be more efficient than a standard aircraft.
Oh, what's a hybrid air? Is that hybrid electricity?
Yeah. So right, the idea behind
That makes sense, because you don't need to do a lot once you're up, do you? Because it's all about getting you there, isn't it? Getting you into this cruising speed, isn't it?
You see, with the short haul flights, like in comparison,
Fucking aeroplanes, how do they work?
Well, you know, that in itself is a controversial topic, but I will say, Fraser, have you ever seen like the energy
how can
density
something that's made of metal float?
Well,
Buoyancy.
but yeah, buoyancy in that case. But
Yeah.
in the case of
It's
aircraft,
witchcraft.
because
It's witchcraft, I tell you.
Yeah.
so with a short haul flight, I see what they're saying. It makes sense. Is that you use you've got like electric compressors which blow air into the jets and spin the
Jet fuel.
turbines. Well, no, the idea being is that you've got this energy stored in a battery, and I suppose the other thing they could do as well is, rather than using fuel to charge up the batteries when when the aircraft's plugged in, because I think it also includes the new sort of interface.
So you're telling me that they've got a battery powerful enough to fucking fly across the Atlantic now?
No. Right. It's for short haul aircraft. So like, if you're going like
What
London
would you describe
to
as short?
London to Paris, London to Vienna.
Right. An hour.
That's short haul.
Up to about 3-4 hours. 4 hours is still short haul, isn't it? Like Gran Canaria or something.
Yeah, well, Vienna or Rome would be like a 2-hour flight, and that's a short haul flight.
Yeah.
And this is the sort of the usage scenario where it makes a lot of sense, right? Because what you do is you're spending a lot of fuel to get up to a cruising altitude, and then you have to descend again. So if you've got an aircraft which has got a battery, now, yeah, you lose the payload for the battery. However, you're not having to burn fuel to get to that thing. So the electric engines are feeding more air into the jets so that they're more efficient, so they're burning less fuel to ascend. And if you're plugging these aircraft in when they're at the terminal, then the batteries can be recharged that way.
Yeah.
Which actually that doesn't make sense, because then you've got to wait hours for the batteries to recharge, unless they're
I
going
was
to
going to
say
say,
we
because
can
they're
have
going to be a big
hours of downtime.
It's not like charging your Tesla up, is it?
Well, or the other alternative that they do to this is that it's like, yeah, okay, sure, the batteries can be charged up whilst it's
a car
in the
battery
air,
takes
but,
out 8 hours to charge, doesn't it?
but unless they got like some sort of quick swap design as well, so that whilst you're in the air, then another battery's on the thing. But the idea is it supplements the power of the jet engines. It doesn't replace it, and it'll help it. But I mean, I'm skeptical about this. The other usage scenario, which makes sense, and I'm surprised it does work, but Boeing have, they've been running it for a while now, and if it didn't work, they would have taken the system out. So I think I touched on it in the Halloween episode, where you get air in from the jet engines into the aircraft, and the reason it's so dry is because they have to run an air con on it, because when it comes in the compressors, it's 200 degrees centigrade. So they got to chill it down a bit, because you can't. It's no good if you cook all your passengers and the flight crew. But in the 787 Dreamliner, they don't do that. Instead, they use electric compressors to bring the air in, and they say it saves them up to 5% fuel per trip, which over years, that's a fairly significant number.
Over a week, it's well. You think how many times that airplane flies within a week? That's a big number. So anyway, are you ready for the Melbourne darts riot?
Go on then.
So more recently, in 2015, surreal mayhem broke out at a darts tournament at the Etihad Stadium in Melbourne, Australia, during a final contested by Michael Mighty Van Gerwen and Simon the Wizard Whitlock. Some of the large crowd, described as drunken idiots that were bored and looking for a bit of excitement, started the unrest by urinating on the stadium floor and building a chair pyramid in the centre of the arena. There were entire rows basically demolished, chairs being put on piles and tables getting involved, witness Andrew Portbury said, saying people were diving on top of the tables and it just became this huge mess very, very quickly. Other audience members objected and scuffles broke out that resulted in people being body slammed into the furniture, while others were hurled lawn chairs at each other. As is the custom at Australian darts matches, many audience members were in fancy dress, and as the violence increased, commentators at the event described a man dressed as Batman's sidekick Robin wrestling with an English knight, as well as men in Hawaiian shirts and a gang of Oompa Loompas throwing furniture. Unrest spread throughout the venue, and with an apparent air of nostalgia, a Daily Telegraph reporter described it as reminiscent of an England away game circa 1998. The play was suspended and the police were called, bringing the riot to an end by ejecting 40 people from the stadium. The Washington Post described it as a goofy display of booze-filled rebellion, and while the violence had been widespread and extensive, the damage was caused to the arena. It mostly involved people throwing lightweight plastic chairs, so no one was seriously injured. Once play resumed, Van Gerwen won the match 9-8, having fought back from 5-1 and 8-4 down. So there you go.
I mean, sort of all rationality goes out the window when there's a riot in place.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of riots, and Richie said this as well, but for our audience, suffice to say, we watched this thing called Bronald Block. And in Bronald Block, you see these videos. You never see the start of these fights, but there's always this thing where, like, there's these people fighting, and it's usually in some sort of fast food place. And they're also like, sometimes even smashing through windows and such. And I look at it and think, what is it in this place that's got you so angry where you decided, you know what, I'm going to throw this person through a window? I've never been that angry in my life.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
I mean, I've been in fights before, but it's like I've never gone, oh, you know what, I really need to like slam somebody through a window because a woman said, like, he called you fat, and I don't know who he is. So what? Yeah, but isn't it bad he call you fat? I mean, like, you know, it's not a lie. Yeah, but it's insulting. So what? I'm going to get my double cheeseburger now, and then I'm going to go eat it. It's always women that do it as well. I noticed that. It's the women that they're egging the men on until they start fighting one another.
So we'll do the Brussels Opera riot next, and then I'm going to need you to talk because my throat's going.
Right. That will segue into something I can talk about.
Actually, I'd like you to talk about Enig Morel, the creepy vaudeville automaton.
Well, I want to do an opera riot thing.
Okay, you can in a minute. Let's do the Brussels Opera riot. It isn't just popular sporting events that can trigger riots. An opera performance on the 25th of August 1830 resulted in a riot with consequences that are felt even today. The day was meant to be a celebration of 15 years of the United Kingdom of the Netherlands, a country created at the Congress of Vienna in the aftermath of Napoleon's defeat. Did you know this, Hobbit?
The United Kingdom of the Netherlands?
Yeah. So it's a country created at the Congress of Vienna in the aftermath of Napoleon's defeat. and which encompassed most of the present-day Netherlands and Belgium. It was an uncomfortable patchwork of former states that had once belonged to France or the Holy Roman Empire, where the north was mainly inhabited by Dutch-speaking Protestants and the south by French-speaking Catholics. As a result, there was much dissatisfaction and separatist sentiment. Unwisely, the government allowed the Opera House in Brussels to stage a previously banned opera, La Muette by Portici. La Muette de Portici by Daniel Orba, which referenced France's July Revolution and contained rousing songs of nationalistic fervour. Presumably, they were hoping that this would encourage nationalist sentiments towards the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. They were wrong. As well as there being an undercurrent of political agitation, a poor harvest had left many working class people hungry, angry and volatile. By the time the opera reached its fifth act, the audience was in a lather of separatist fervour on their feet and singing loudly. Some then stormed the stage to make revolutionary speeches, while others surged out to riot in the streets, singing and calling for insurrection. The authorities were completely unprepared and were taken by surprise. Soon riots had spread out to Ghent, Bruges and other cities, making the whole region ungovernable. The Dutch army briefly managed to occupy Brussels, again on the 23rd of September, but within days a coordinated committee of revolutionaries and citizens' militias caused them to retreat and then transformed itself into a provisional government which declared Belgian independence on the 4th of October 1830. So there you go, Hobbit, the birth of your nation.
Was due to Napoleon's wars, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before then it was well, I'm not too sure really. It was owned under Spain for a bit. It was the Kingdom of Burgundy. But the fact is, it's neither Dutch nor is it French, and that's why there was another nation like that. It didn't last too long, but you know, the Alsace region was its own neutral thing after World War One. They said we're neither French nor German.
Yeah, because the German Shepherd briefly during World War Two got renamed the Alsatian, didn't it? Which is still a name which is kind of stuck to this day, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, people still call it that. I'm trying to find, but unfortunately, there's a lot of debunking. Debunking. So we got Reuters saying, fact check, debunking social media claims about A equals 432 hertz. Let's just do Reuters then. You know, we're going to actually, right. So long story short, when now I've heard this story from boomers. So they're saying, yes, the Rockefeller Institute changed it, but also the Nazis changed it.
Yeah.
And when the Nazis changed A to 440 hertz, which, by the way, the Rockefellers, they're in lockstep with the Nazis because they're so scared of the Nazis.
Well, there are very strong rumours that Hitler was, rumours. I think it's kind of in some places. In fact,
and the other's in the Albert Hall.
That's that. But there's also another thing where he was paid by the Rothschilds, weren't he? He's a Rothschild, Steve.
But either way, the Rockefellers were so intimidated by the Nazis that even when they lost the war, they decided to keep the global tuning standard of A equal 440 hertz, rather than going back to the
This isn't as good as that time Holly decimalised music, though, was it? Keyboards as big as a zebra crossing. Women had to play cello side saddle.
Zebra. Oh, look. So, somebody's trying to apply for their American citizenship here right now. Tramps, they're going to hire you. You're not going to get an H-1B visa that easily. You're not brown enough for a start. You're not from Punjab. I only accept people from Punjab, and you're not that. You're not going into the USA. So anyway, back in the good old days when music was like for your health and what have
triangles that have four sides. Do you remember that? Do you remember Holly's bit about decimalising music?
Yeah, I do. So you see, back in the good old days, right? Music was like had healing tones, and it was good for you, and you could go to a church or a cathedral and listen to the organ and the choir, and you'd feel better because you actually
But
were
to be
better.
fair, we still had like nice music up until when did you spoke about this before? But pop music now uses different frequencies, doesn't it, than it used to?
Well, it's also it's called the loudness wars, and it's something which sound engineers are well aware of. But music now is a lot noisier than music from 30 years ago, and it's all terrible. It's also that they sound just as loud as each other on the radio, and there's no quietness. It's all dissonant noise. But anyway,
well, even the presenters are. Hey, I'm Smashing and Nicey, aren't they? They're all like Smashing and Nicey now, aren't they?
But back in the 1930s, there was this great push.
Oh, not the 1930s. Dun dun dun. I need to find that dun 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 music, don't I? Whenever you mention the 1930s.
Yes, but you see, back in the day, there was this great push to standardise the note of A, and I was like, look, we've got to have like some standard frequencies that no matter what orchestra.
Is this where we get the EU are literally Nazis, because they try to standardise a load of fucking stuff, don't they?
Yeah, but the EU was before then, and
well, the EU, the EU arguably came out of then.
Well, there's the Treaty of Rome in there, so it's kind of a known quantity. But anyway, long story short, the notes were standardized in the early half of the 20th century, and the evil Nazis, definitely not the Rockefellers. It was the evil Nazis that did it, and the Rockefellers to this day, we're all still using it because of the evil Nazis. We can't go back. We can't. We got to keep this system. A equals 430 hertz. It's the worst sound possible. So the story goes.
Before that, we had big, beautiful sounds. We had the most beautiful sounds.
The sounds, they made the magnets work. The magnets were levitating back then. They don't levitate anymore.
No.
But you see, when they first started using the new Rockefeller tuning, with A equals 440 hertz, it was apparently the most dissonant sound possible, and it was causing people to get angry and there was riots in the opera theaters amongst the audience, and it was causing people to be angry and violent. Now, here's the thing, right? And you can see it with cymatics, and I just looked at the maths and thought, well, that makes a lot more sense. Now, a musician's probably going to go, Hobbit, actually, you got it wrong. 4 needs to equal 448 hertz in order for C to equals 512. But I'm pretty sure if you tune A to 432 hertz, it makes C 512. And 512 has got many factors to it. And I'm sorry, I don't have the music theory table to hand, but I had it. And it's
the people that are on Taco Tuesday. Which age do you think they use?
Never mind about them. But the fact is, seriously, never mind about them. Especially that fucker who doesn't tune his guitar before playing. It's like, bro, seriously, you can just download a free guitar tuner app for phone, and you can use the phone's microphone to do it. It's not just spend 10 minutes and your sound will immediately improve, because the thing is, like, the guy could actually play the guitar. It was just like twang, 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 twang. It's like, please tune your fucking guitar. So anyway, I looked into it because, believe it or not, I used to play guitar before I got the arthritis. And
you used to play the keyboard as well. You made a big fuss about buying that keyboard, and then you just let it gather dust.
Before I got the arthritis. But you see, now, when I looked into it, being 432 hertz means that C is 512, and that means it's nice and divisible by other things. There's plenty of factors, which means you can have many more subharmonics in your note than the other thing. So, an easy visual way to imagine it, right? Guitarists will do this, where you'll play harmonics. So, if you're holding down nowhere on the string, and you play it, that's its normal note. If you put your finger halfway on the string and you pluck it, and then immediately after you pluck it, you take your finger off, you'll hear what's called the first order harmonic. If you put your finger, I think it's at the 7th fret, that's the second order harmonic, and is it the 5th fret or the 4th? But either way, if you go in like half, thirds, quarters, fifths, you get various harmonics. Then they're all based on the lengths of it. And if you tune your strings right, you get a much richer, fuller sound than if you do using the standard evil Nazi tuning. That's why I don't tune guitars to evil Nazi frequencies. Because unlike the Rockefellers, I'm bold and beautiful enough to use the natural frequencies that God gave us, the healing tones. When I used to play guitar, it healed people's injuries. It was really good. But you're not going to hear it anymore. So it's something which it caused riots, and in opera pits. But as Reuters here, they fart checked us, right?
Deep fart. Did they deep fart check you?
Well, they got some deep farting debunking here. I fucking love it when things are debunked. So do you want to hear how actually? Do you want to hear how actually all I've said is wrong and I'm stupid?
Yeah.
So a popular meme on social media makes a series of allegations about the musical tone pitch of A equals 432 hertz and A equals 440.
Reuters tone policing Hobbit.
Reuters are literally tone policing. That is what this article is about. Including that the latter was a stand-in opposed by the Nazis to manipulate their enemies. Multiple experts told Reuters these allegations are unfounded. Did you know Jimi Hendrix, along with John Lennon, Bob Marley, and Prince, all tune their music to a specific frequency of 432 hertz? It is known as the beat of the earth. It has substantial healing benefits, and ancient Egyptian and Greek instruments were discovered tuned to 432 hertz. Well, that's like, okay.
Did they?
The meme reads, oi Telegram.
That was me.
Yeah, I know. Why are you sending me messages?
Because you weren't around.
Oh,
you
right.
weren't around at the time.
That's fine.
Well, I'm only just getting the notification. Wow, you just tell me now for the first time.
Yeah.
Just getting this notification right now.
We didn't know you were speaking to Uncle Donny backstage.
Yeah, well, that's it, you see.
Yeah.
I had to get the security clearance. The meme reads, however, since 1953, all music has been tuned to 440 hertz. Oh, there's evil Nazis in 1953.
Yeah.
Wow. And I thought they'd been bested by then.
Yeah.
The frequency has no scientific relationship with our universe and actually causes the brain to become agitated. The Nazis in WW2 used this frequency against their enemies to make them feel and think a certain way. Recent posts can be seen here, and here. In music, pictures how high...
I become agitated when I listen to modern music. Is it anything to do with that?
Wow, well, yeah, I mean, that's it. In music, pictures how high or low a note sounds. The BBC explains here, in that case, it's not true. As explained by Encyclopedia Britannica, a given musical pitch, like A equals 432 and A equals 440 hertz, is determined by the frequency of vibration and the sound wave that produces it. Okay, yeah, thanks for telling me how notes work. Currently, most instruments are by default tuned to 440 hertz, meaning that the note of A, the second note in above middle C, should be set to a frequency of 440. They really like going on about this over and over again. I think we got... Can we just say we've established the idea?
I think someone passed their music GCSE and wants everybody to know it.
I think we've established the fact that the standard reference A is 440 hertz.
I think we might need to check.
So anyway, yeah. So they go on to citing like some guy at Oslo's Department of Musicology, Claims about these two musical pitches throughout history and its purported effects in human brainwave have long
I
been
didn't think they
circulating
had
the
that
internet.
department anymore. I thought he'd been attacked by a grenade.
And been changed by people in the music industry and academics. Experts contacted by Reuters agreed that the meme presents claims that lack evidence as well as historical inaccuracies. Susan Rogers, so it's a woman, discount, she says, well, as a woman, I have a vagina, and therefore there's no empirical research suggesting that you've ever had sex. Coincidentally, Ian Cross,
you think Hitler invented that? You must have a small penis.
Yeah, don't you know Hitler had only one ball and the other's in the Albert Hall?
Yeah, his mother, the dirty bird, got cut it off when he was small.
Coincidentally, Ian Cross, professor and director of the Centre for Music and Science at the University of Cambridge, told Reuters the claims have no empirical basis. Prince Charles Alexander, also professor of music production engineering at Berklee College of Music, says, I am a former Nazi and I say this is incorrect. Standardization. In 1939, at an international conference of the most evil people in the world, the British Standards, which is the British Standards Institute, a group of European nations first issued a joint recommendation to set the standard for concert pitch at 440 hertz.
So the concert pitch was changed, even though they're telling us it wasn't changed.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it wasn't changed, and here's why it was a good thing.
And even here, it's like, you might have forgotten that, a standard A is the middle C. Sorry, let me just read that again. Meaning the note of A, the second note above middle C, should be set at 440 hertz, in case you forgot it. The other, 5 times we mentioned it. According to a 1939 Nature article, the recommendations, which also establish such value, shall be maintained within closest limits possible by all musical performances and recorded music, was forwarded for submission to the International Standards Association, which became the International Organization for Standardization in 1947. It's still known as the ISO because of its French acronym. The pitch for the note A has been first proposed by Johann Heinrich Schleiermacher.
So it's nothing to do with the Germans then?
At the Stuttgart Congress of Physics in 1834, according to Cross. Well, no, they were evil Nazis in 1834. They're time travelers, don't you know. By 1917, this standard pitch was already being followed by the American Federation of Musicians, according to Halmrast. After World War II, ISO issued the recommendations in 1955, which was turned into a standard in 1975. This is the standard today, which has been largely, although not solely adhered to, according to Cross.
It's a good job you didn't believe your lying eyes, weren't it, Hobbit?
Oh, I know. Prior to the 1939 meeting, tuning varied across different sites in Europe. The work of Alexander Ellis, a British mathematician who first did a systematic study of the history of pitch standards.
So that tuning that wasn't changed, it was changed. Is that literally what they're saying?
Yeah. He showed that the pitch went from 374 to 567 hertz. I mean, that's octaves of difference. As documented in the essay Perfect Pitch, 432 hertz music and its promise of frequency. A historical account of standardization to 440 hertz confirmed here. Nazis and standardization. Contacted by Reuters, Jeffrey Herf, professor of history at the University. I know. Jeffrey Herf, professor of history at the University of Maryland, and author of the Jewish Enemy, Nazi Propaganda during the Holocaust, desists the claim that the Nazis used musical pitch to manipulate their enemies, as the meme alleges. I've never heard anything remotely like that. It's absurd.
Oh, it's just absurd. You believe that, do you?
In her essay, next you're believing in the masturbation machines. In her essay, Rosenberg traced the origin of the alleged link between Nazis and the standardization to an article published in 1988, which claimed that Joseph Goebbels, Minister of Propaganda in Nazi Germany, had been instrumental in the 1939 meeting. The article, however, makes no mention of this frequency being used to make the enemies feel and think a certain way. What certain way is that? It's true that Germany attended. Maybe think and act in a certain way, like having articles saying Judea declares war on Germany. I mean, maybe this backfired somehow. It is true that Germany attended the 1930. All of Germany attended the 1939.
All of every last
Germans
person in Germany.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing, right? Germans are sticklers for standards, and when they heard that there was a standards meetings, they're like, everyone in Germany in 1939 attended the meeting. We found it most educational. We were disappointed that they did not have enough seating for all of 59 million of us, or however many Germans there were at the time.
Yeah.
Not all music is tuned to the 440 hertz. Moreover, not all music around the world has since been tuned to 440 hertz, as the meme claims.
Just because
I
your
remember
music's
being in
tuned to
Japan
44
in the
hertz.
80s on tour with Prince, and our pianos have been tuned differently, Rogers said, also noting that Cuban music tunes to 436. In an interview with NPR in 2016,
Yeah.
classical pianist Simone Dinnerstein, I wouldn't invite her to lunch, mentioned how the National Cuban Orchestra was tuned to 436 hertz. Cross concurred that some orchestras from time to time flirted with an increase up to 450 hertz, which has the effect of making them sound seem brighter. Audition documents by the New York Philharmonic, for
So
example,
you know that
state
thing that
the
you
orchestra-
thought was happening? Yes, it was happening, but it was happening in a slightly
Yeah.
different way.
So, audition documents by the New York Philharmonic, for example, state the orchestra tunes to 442 hertz. Ancient instruments. Reuters found no documented evidence that ancient cultures tune their music to 442 hertz. This is a bit like saying Reuters found no ways to translate hieroglyphs, and there's no such thing as a Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
But
the Rosetta
it's like
Stone
Reuters
was found and used.
It's like saying, "Oh, did you see that building catch on fire?" Well, I was looking the other way, so there's no evidence to prove it was on fire.
Yeah.
Armand de Angor, professor at Jesus College at University of Oxford, whose research is focused on ancient Greek music, told Reuters the claim is unfounded. We don't know. Oh, hang on, he's from Oxford.
Hold on a minute. He's the expert in ancient Greek music, but he's telling us about stuff that happened in the night. We never said the ancient Greek Nazis did it. We're saying the World War II Nazis did it.
Oh, well, the meme sort of goes on to say the ancient Egyptians and Greeks used this tuning. But he says, we don't know the absolute pictures of ancient strings.
Did the Romans
which in any
use
case
that
would have
tuning
been,
as
would have been variable depending on resources, location, circumstances, etc. It is a fancy to suggest that we know that any tune was pinpointed at 432 hertz, de Angora said. Heidi Klopjunk, which is a real name and not a Star Wars name, which is the assistant professor in Egyptian archaeology at the Institute of Mediterranean Oriental Cultures.
Wasn't Klopjunk the one that bet with Qui-Gon Jinn about Anakin's base, Anakin's race?
I think Klopjunk's the one which attended the bounty hunters meetings and was like going to hunt down Han Solo.
Yeah.
Polish Academy of Sciences Warsaw also said there is no evidence that the instruments in ancient Egypt were tuned to 432 hertz. I was like, don't you just love it when they introduce these people and like there's a paragraph to like say who they are and where they're from, and then it's just like 4 words from them. Yeah. Verdict: false. Meme includes unfounded claims and historical inaccuracies about frequencies.
This is what happens when you're paid by the word rather than the content of your articles.
And just repeating the same words over and over again. You know, here's the thing, right? The BBC, for all their faults, they did do one good radio comedy called Just a Minute. And in Just a Minute,
they did the Mayor Whitehouse experience. It was quite funny as well.
Well, I like Just a Minute because what you have to do is you're given a subject and you have to talk about the subject without repetition or hesitation for a minute. And, Reuters, you would have been dinged out like in the first fucking sentence. Because, yeah. Oh, Spedware said they had opera pits, more like mosh pits.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All I will say is if you tune your own instruments, you get one of those tuners where you can adjust the frequency and just try different scales. And I personally quite like 432
I quite
hertz.
like the tuning of that guitar that was on on Taco Tuesday.
Well, what you mean that's lack thereof? Yeah.
Taco Tuesday, find it on YouTube. It is a truly excellent musical show.
You can go to it right now, but I suggest you don't.
Yeah, and don't listen to it either.
Hmm.
Hobbit, there's dead air.
Yeah.
Have you finished?
I believe so.
Can you talk about
I was-
Enigmarel, the creepy vaudeville automaton?
I mean, I can, but can I put a jumper on first? Because that previous article's so spooky, I've been chilled to my bone.
Okay then, I'll see what's in it. I'll do an unexplained pistries while you're doing that. Right, let's have a look on it. Unexplained mysteries. Come on. Where are we here? Lion on the loose in Ireland turns out to have a very bizarre explanation. A creature had been sighted several times. Local authorities have been called out to investigate a viral clip of an alleged lion roaming the woods of County Clare. Concerns have been raised earlier this month when the footage emerged of a large lion-like beast which had been spotted by a lorry driver in the woods of eastern County Clare, Ireland. The animal had been seen before by harvesters working on the site, but it was from a distance, moving through the trees. We assumed it was a deer before the video was captured. Before long, efforts were underway to track down and identify the creature. As it turned out, the culprit wasn't lying, it was a dog. The friendly canine was in fact a Newfoundland with a haircut that made it look like he had a mane. Named Mouse, the curious dog had simply been roaming around exploring the woods. Mouse is delighted with his recent viral video clip, the police joked. Well, that was a waste of my time reading that out. So yeah, I'll put the link in here. You can either read Wired.com or we can go through the Wikipedia.
I felt the same with the Reuters as well. So
yeah,
fucking Reuters.
Fucking Reuters. How do they work? They fucking don't.
Reuters. Why do they work?
Yeah.
Don't you just love it when you click on the easy read button and it just goes, "Oh, sorry, this article is member walled, so I'll have a look at the other one."
It's
posted another link.
Oh, okay then. Is that not speed reading for you? The Wired.com one.
No, it's just like, you've already had your free article for this thing. So,
you've already
Enigmarel.
What are you reading on Wired?
Well, I don't know. I must have read something. Enigmarel was a fake humanoid automaton. In fact, there was a person concealed inside, which was exhibited as a scientific and technical curiosity around 1905 in the United States and Europe, chiefly in theaters. Enigmarel was claimed to be able to perform several extraordinary tasks, which it demonstrated in performances. Those included walking, riding a bicycle, and writing its name on the blackboard. My dad, we're watching like the first series of Robot Wars. The one with Jeremy Clarkson presenting it.
Yeah, the problem with that is everything became a wedge, like Richie was saying the other day. It's just that the wedge seemed to be. It turned out to be the most efficient, so everything became a wedge, didn't it? And it got a bit boring, didn't it?
Well, what about Hypnodisc? Hypnodisc wasn't a wedge, and that was like one of the best ones ever. And it was made in Banbury.
But the wedges used to win quite a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, but wedges are boring. That's why, like, my two favorite robots is Razor, which you can argue is wedge shaped, but it wasn't like wedge shaped and then like flip them over. It was like, wedge shape and then crush them.
Yeah.
And then there was Hypnodisc, which wasn't wedge shaped, and then. In fact,
what was that one? What was that one that battered the house robots as well? I can't remember which robot did that.
That's definitely Razor. Razor pulled Sir Kilolot's Jaws of Life arm off, and they had to put a new one on, which wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Because the previous one had smaller claws on it, and it was way, way more armor piercing than the next one, which had larger claws on it and didn't go as far. But my dad, we're watching this show, and he says, "Oh, what they should do is they should get a man in there and like disguise him as a robot, and give him a sledgehammer."
That'd be fucking
And
dangerous. Did you not see the speed at some of that? The speed at some of that shrapnel was flying around. That it'd be like getting hit by a bullet, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the thing. Like the Pussycat team, and I'm surprised they weren't disqualified for this because they had an angle grinder disc as their weapon.
Yeah.
And all the teams are told you cannot use this type of material. I think maybe it was tungsten carbide or something.
Yeah.
Because when struck, it can shatter, and that can penetrate through the plexiglass, protecting the audience.
Fucking hell.
And it did lodge inside the plexiglass, so it did like. But they could have been very close to causing grievous bodily harm, and there's children in that audience.
Yeah.
But Pussycat, they did it, and plus they were scumbags as well, and they were just like, they were attacking like the other robots when they shouldn't have been. And I didn't like them, and I just think they were probably buddies with like the judges, and that's why they allowed them to keep in it when they really shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But anyway,
the American
real
one was awful,
scumbag,
though, weren't it? It's completely unwatchable.
I saw like some clips from the modern, because they still keep doing the robot wars in America.
Yeah.
And it seems like one of the most destructive robots there is a variant on the Hypnodisc.
Yeah.
But they keep all of the internals of the Hypnodisc inside its big flywheel. So in order to attack this, you've either got to scoop it from underneath, but the clearance on it's so fine that most of the stuff that try and clears it, it's just going to send it flying.
You want like a forklift. You want like a mini forklift.
Yeah, but the thing with the mini forklifts is the wedges will just get under them. In fact, there's the other thing, because it doesn't really, you don't get a good sense of scale in that.
Forklift blades drop on the floor, don't they? Like proper forklift blades drop on the floor, don't they?
You never get a good sense of scale in that show because they always look so small. Yeah. But I remember like one of the first wedge shapes, which one I think it was called Roadblock, and it was literally taken from a road closed ahead sign. And like, have you ever seen how big those signs are in real life? They're not small.
Yeah.
But so anyway, Enigma, he did things like riding a bike and attacking other robots.
Yeah.
With a sledgehammer. All right. The booking agent, an American named Frederick J. Ireland, was represented at these appearances as the creator and owner of the automaton. Enigma was a large automaton. Automaton.
Yes.
He's an automaton.
Yes.
Automato, and was in fact operated by a human concealed within its body, although the precise operating mechanisms are not known. The operator is believed to have been a performer who had both his legs amputated, went by the name of Albert W. Root, and who also performed as a bicycle acrobat using leg prostheses. Enigma was the subject of a short documentary film in 1985 and detailed a scientific description with 3 photos in Scientific American. It's mentioned that in some modern publications on automatons. Do you know what this reminds me of? So they're saying like Enigma could ride a bike and he could walk around and stuff like that. But the guy had no legs.
Yeah.
So what this reminds me of is there was this... it was a guy, and he was what's it called? He was some sort of craftsman, and he lost the use of his arm. It got amputated.
Yeah.
So he built himself a prosthetic arm, and I was trying to figure out how it was working because the fingers in it could open and close, and he was able to operate them individually. And they say the way he did it is because he used his shoulder stump to make things move around, but also he was operating the arm using his other arm.
Yeah.
And I just, the clip, I can't find it anymore. But maybe somebody knows what I'm on about. This, because I wish I could tell you more. It's just like some sort of turn of the century guy, and there's video footage of him demonstrating his prosthetic arm, and it's like, well, prosthetic that's like an actual articulated arm. Why couldn't I have them? Oh, also the Turk as well. The chess playing Turk.
Yeah, the Turk's on the Wikipedia. Do you want to talk about the Turk?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about the Turk.
Mechanical Turk.
So was the Turk actually?
The
was it actually? Go on then.
So
about it.
what the Turk is it's a man in a box, and he's playing chess, and what he does is the puppet above moves the chess pieces and corresponding to how he moves the chess pieces.
Oh, okay. But that was supposed to be a robot, was it?
Well, it was the marvel of the time, the mechanical Turk, which would take, it's seemingly this automaton which would play chess against you.
My favourite thing that turns that on its head is Battlestar Galactica. Do you remember the kid had a toy robot that was like a dog thing?
Is that the one which was played? Oh no, I'm thinking of the one that went beady beady beady, and it was played by Mel Blanc.
No, this one was played by Monkey. Actually, inside that, they just literally covered a monkey in things to make it look like a robot.
Oh. Okay, because like the robot which was voiced by Mel Blanc, and there was a Mrs. Robot as well. Those were like kids in costumes, weren't they?
Oh, well, yeah, I think they're all probably midgets. I don't think you're allowed to say midgets.
Why not? I mean, they're midgets. What else are you going to call them?
You're supposed to call them
dwarfs?
Little people of little, aren't you?
I'm not going to do that, though. I refuse to play this game anymore.
So have a look at this
image.
Oh my
God, there's
have a
so
look at this
much
image in here. That's Muffy from Battlestar Galactica, and that's some poor chimp inside there.
Well, to be fair, they did a lot of that back in the day.
Yeah.
Like they had the chimps in. They got the chimps to talk in PG tips. What they do is they give them a spoonful of peanut butter, and then they just film them sort of chomping their lips a bit. Oh yeah, I remember that. So that's a monkey inside there, right?
Yeah, that's what they did.
So
Matt,
so
absolutely,
why
that was supposed to have been. They got if you're a big fan of special effects, whatever. They actually got John Dykstra, who did a lot of the Star Wars effects on there. That's why the ships look so good in it.
Yeah. Well, that was it, because they had there was a big wave of Star Wars fever after that show was over. So you had like Battle Beyond the Stars, The Black Hole, Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers in the 21st and a half century, and then I think it died down for a bit, and then people said, "Hey, what if we revive Star Trek?" And they're like, "What, that Cordy show with the girls with the big tits?" And Gene Roddenberry was like, "Yeah, but we need men wearing skirts too." Did you notice, like, after Gene Roddenberry died, Star Trek was like a lot less about women in miniskirts with big tits? I gotta say, since Gene Roddenberry died, Star Trek didn't improve. I mean, some parts of Star Trek were all right, but Star Trek Voyager was just like, oh, okay, the Star Trek's over now, isn't it? And I was right. Yeah. It's sad, really. It's really sad.
Fraser, they're doing an Insidious 6. I've just seen it down the side of here.
Insidious 6. Is that the one about the Exorcist?
That's like Aliens in Dreams, isn't it, I think?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's got the same bloke from Conjuring, isn't it?
Conjuring?
Yeah.
Nope. Don't remember that one.
What the fuck? Oh, that's nasty.
What is that?
What are you doing?
I'm going to show you this picture, and I'm sorry, but it involves broken bones, and I'm just like, why would you make that into a meme?
Bing.
God, do you remember when like graphics cards had pictures of women on them? Do you remember
I don't,
that?
actually. No.
Okay, so Fraser, in the before time when you were in nappies, right? Hemi and I used to have computers, and you get the computers with your waifu on it, so
Yeah.
you could have like your AGI Radiant waifu,
Right.
with the blower style fans, which were terrible. And I personally didn't get them because blower fans are horrible. But if you
Okay.
don't care about that, you could like you'd not see them because also people would mount the graphics cards and you'd never get to see that because it was always face down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I never had one of those graphics cards.
What you're an Nvidia one instead?
No, I think I used Rage ATIs. I think I was using back then.
Yeah, but that came Rage the Rage card that was like late 90s. This was a early 2000s one.
Yeah, I never really did a lot of PC. I was out of PCing for a bit. Probably during that period. I was a console pleb back then.
Yeah.
Oh, console peasant.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right then. So do you want to do some unexplained histories?
Oh boy, howdy I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Fraser,
Yes.
you do one.
Do you want to do life found inside blue volcanic goop at the bottom of the sea?
Oh. Send us the link because I don't want to type unexplained mysteries myself.
Why?
I mean, the keyboard's right in front of me, but it does mean I have to lean my hand over and type on it.
There you go, Hobbit.
And I can't at the moment.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's a hidden entrance potentially discovered in the hit pyramid of Menkar. Texas woman is spotted in a Loch Ness monster. We'll wait till Ian comes on next and we'll do some.
Yeah, save the cryptozoology stuff.
Yeah.
This is an unexplained mystery. I'm really glad this is on unexplainedmysteries.com.
Yeah.
Jesus did not appear on the French hillside, Vatican officials rule. So, yeah. Oh, you know what we're doing about Elazin? Ella Moran?
Yeah.
Esther Ranson.
Ella Morel.
Right. Robot is so realistic that firm cuts it open on stage to prove that it's real. The demonstration of Xpeng Ion, that's a real name, humanoid robot, recently left people unable to believe it was even a robot. Developed by a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer.
Hey, somebody reckons they saw a Fata Morgana off the Caithness coast.
Okay. The robot, which is hang on, I've forgotten what Fata Morgana, and this may be someone's first episode. Is a Fata Morgana a type of mirage?
Shall I put the image up and then we'll see what a Fata Morgana is? So
yeah, because I've forgotten what a Fata Morgana. I know it's something to do with Morgana.
It looks like I think he's just got a shit camera. I don't think it's a Fata Morgana. He's just a shit camera.
Developed by a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer, the robot, an autonomous bipedal humanoid, is being positioned as a direct competitor to Tesla's Optimus. It was demonstrated recently at the company's AI Day in Guangzhou, where audiences got the chance to observe its incredibly lifelike walking motion firsthand. Unexpectedly, however, its movements proved so realistic that many people questioned whether it was even a robot at all. Instead accusing the firm of rolling out a human being in so Phantom Morgana is where it's weird optical illusion. There's these things that are over the horizon and now you can see them. Yeah.
Do you know there's a film called Photographing Fairies and it's got a woman called Emily Wolf in it?
Keen to shut down such rumours, the firm made the decision to bring the robot back out and say, oh, they did a bait and switch, right? So the robot, walks off the stage and be like, okay, bring back exactly the same robot, wink, wink, so we can cut it open and prove to the audience that it's a thing. According to Xpeng, which is a real name apparently, the robot's incredibly fluent walking motion is down to its unique AI, which enables it to physically react to its surroundings. It also covered in a tight synthetic skin that makes it appear more organic, which covers up its assembly of artificial muscles, flexible bones, and a synthetic spine. Overall, it is capable of 2,250 trillion operations per second. In the future, robots will be life partners and colleagues, said the firm's CEO, He Xiaopeng. I suspect that, just like when you buy a car, you control different color, exteriors and interior. Why would you want black one though? In the future, when you buy a robot, you can choose the sex, height, yes please, hair length, long, or clothing for your desired purpose. Yeah. So, yeah.
These are all sex robots, aren't they?
In news today, so they got like a woman in a skin tight suit to walk around on the stage to write its name, Ella Morel, on the backboard and ride a bicycle. And then when it rode his bicycle off the stage, people like, we think that was just a woman dressed up in a suit. You've done an Ella Morel. And I was like, oh yeah? Well, we're going to bring that robot back and open it up. See, this is the robot. This is the robot you saw that wrote its name on the blackboard saying Ella Morel. And you will say, I scam you. My company, I am so legitimate that my company name not even going to be on this presentation, but I am Chinese automotive CEO. Tina Engine Lady is my best friend. She know all about my factory. Oh, did you know there's a hidden entrance potentially discovered? Oh, potentially. Weasel words there. Anyway, maybe there's a hole into a pyramid we didn't know about. Maybe there's not.
Yeah.
God, I got so excited about that robot story, and it's just like it's just bait and switch. It's just a bait and switch.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to know more strangers surrounds the approach of Comet 3i Atlas? It's not a comet, by the way.
I just wondered what the latest 3i Atlas news was.
As the interstellar visitor gets closer to the Earth, observations of its progress have revealed some head-scratching anomalies. By now, just about everyone will have heard about 3i Atlas, an interstellar object thought by most scientists to be a comet. No. Bullshit, lies, that has been passing through our solar system in the recent months. Most of the intrigue surrounding this object comes courtesy of a vocal minority, including Harvard's Professor Avi Loeb, who believe that there is a reasonable chance that 3i Atlas could in fact be an artificially constructed object controlled by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Now, I want Reuters to debunk this and say, well, we contacted Professor. We contacted Harry Knopf of the Warsaw University. See, why you contact me about astrology?
Someone put this on tonight. Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, a tale of faith influenced massive mommy milkers across the digital landscape. One man speaks faster than logic itself. Ben Shapiro, the self-proclaimed master of debate, but who is he really? Join us as we attempt to uncover the truth. That was in the voice of Robert Stack, by the way. I can't really do a good Robert Stack.
Elsewhere, Avi Loeb has noted that in new photographs from the R Navy's observatory in Spain, 3i Atlas does not appear to have a large tail as would be expected for a comet that has reached this close to the Sun. He also highlighted its existing list of anomalies concerning the object, including the fact that it seems to align almost perfectly with the ecliptic plane of the planets around the Sun, which is a 0.2% likelihood. The fact that it appears to have an anomalously massive nucleus and that its gas plume consists of far more nickel than iron, something potentially indicative of industrial production. Well, no, it's not far more nickel than iron. Like when it first came out, it's corona. No, it's not corona. It's coma. was exclusively nickel, and you just can't get it being produced at those distances. It's just no, it's wrong. He also notes that it seems to have originated from the same direction as the mysterious WOW signal. Given that 3i Atlas will reach its closest approach of the Earth on December 19th, we may not have too much longer to wait before we can find out for sure if it actually is a comet, or there really is something strange about this curious interstellar visitor.
Oh shit! Do you remember when Mexico revealed the cake aliens? Do you remember that?
Well, they revealed the aliens and then they made a cake of it afterwards, which was just like, what the fuck? I mean, that's kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's no.
Yeah, what happened to the cake aliens?
Well, I don't know, but
September the 13th, 2023. Fucking hell, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't seem that long ago, doesn't it?
When you put Mexican aliens, you don't really get the
Mexican. You only get Mexicans.
Yeah, you get a very different kind of alien.
New Turin shroud study suggests that it once wrapped a body, and then there's another one saying Turin shroud was laid on a sculpture, not a real body. Studied by Ave Loeb finds. It's not the shred of Turin. It's not been put on Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is never real, and if he was real, he'd look like a sub-Saharan African. Yeah. Bizarre crab-like robotic chair can literally carry someone upstairs. Is it just another woman in a skin-tight suit?
I
bet it is. I bet it is. It's just a woman in a suit. Driver witnesses Bigfoot crossing the highway in Pennsylvania.
Bigfoot?
Why did it cross?
Bigfoot,
just need some stuff. Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Well,
he's Canadian Bigfoot.
He's come down to visit Pennsylvania and he's going to get some smokes. Smokes are too expensive in Canada. I've come down here for some smokes. That's what it's about. Tally in about this. Cryptozoology's Avengers Initiative is being set up near Loch Ness. You have to bring up. Yes. You have to bring up some phlegm when you say lake in Scottish.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is?
Yes.
She says that aliens may be demons.
Yeah. They'd make some puns about software meaning lingerie. I'm not quite sure when that's from, but... Oh, they used Lara Croft from time to time to advertise graphics hardware, did they? I bet.
Yes, they did. There was even this thing about you can 3D banging Lara Croft.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Melville Smith was driving his car and it got struck by a meteorite.
Ooh.
A terrifying incident occurred out of the blue when veterinarian was driving back to his home in South Australia. Dr. Andrew Melville Smith, who hails from Whyalla, who's been heading home in his brand new Tesla Model Y. Not a promotion, not a sponsor.
I'm just waiting for a mate.
Yes, not a sponsor.
Just waiting for a
mate.
Recently. That's a great video, that, isn't it? I'm just waiting for a mate.
When the sudden, just waiting for a mate. Well, recently a sudden loud crash prompted him to hit the brakes. I thought we crashed, he said. I was in shock, wiping glass particles from my face and being completely disorientated. After he managed to compose himself, he realised that something had struck his windscreen, spreading small fragments of glass all over the inside of his car. Far from being something that had crashed into, however, it looked as though something hot had fallen out of the sky and struck the car with such force.
Do you remember
that
that one from earlier in the year?
Died.
The family in Zimbabwe that were terrorised by invisible goblins. Do you remember that story?
But they were visible goblins. How can you be terrorized by an invisible goblins? How do you know they're a goblin?
Because
Hey,
they felt like
never
goblins.
mind. Never mind the family that got terrorized by goblins in Ooga Booga Land. What about that story of the Nigerians whose son had eaten a Chinese meal, got demon possessed, and then they chained him to his bed, and he died 3 days later. And then at the inquest, no, it went to trial. The family were like, right, so you've murdered your son, and that is an indictable offence, and the minimum penalty for murder is like a custodial sentence. I'm just going to let you all go. And none of the family are serving any prison time for murdering their son.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you remember when we did that story earlier? Because I saw it like a few months later, the story came up again. It's like, yeah, the judge is like, well, he's not ruled them not guilty. They are guilty of murder, and that bit's incontrovertible.
Yeah.
That's the fancy word for saying they definitely did it. And but it's like it doesn't matter. They just be like, yeah, you know what? You might have killed him, but he's a darkie, and I, the honourable judge, whatever his name was, that presided over the case, says,
Yeah.
I don't like Nigerians, so you did the world a favour. Good on you. You're going to murder any more coons? And the family said nothing because they said, well, with in all honesty, Your Honour, it's a bit racist you saying that. He was our son.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, BBC, if you're doing a hit piece on me, it's not me saying that. It's the Honourable Judge so-and-so, whose name I forget, who said, I hate darkies. I am Judge so-and-so. That's why I'm not sending any of you to prison, even though you did murder your son. But he's Nigerian, so it all balances out anyway. And that's the first time in US court. That's the first time in UK court history where someone has been convicted of murder and then no custodial sentence was handed out. Well, actually, I was going to say it might not be the first time, but I just realised in the case of the then Prince Charles, he never did go to court because you can't be accused of a crime when you're the Prince of Wales.
Yeah.
Well, you can be accused of a crime.
Have you seen someone thinks that Homo florensis could still floresiensis? You know, the little Hobbit people.
Yeah.
Somebody thinks they could be
Wait,
alive
so
in Indonesia.
You can't be accused of a crime. So I could get stabbed by the Prince of Wales and not he'd not be arrested.
Well, put it this way. Hypothetically, right, you could have angered a member of the royal family, and whilst you're on holiday somewhere abroad, you could have had the brakes cut to your vehicle and then arranged to have an accident so that your chauffeur, you, and your lover all died in the car crash. And then when an inquest was done in that country, because it's not under your jurisdiction, and the jury's like, well, this is definitely murder, and your ex has said it would be a shame if your brake lines were cut. Now, normally, in an inquest into like a suspicious death, if somebody like your ex-lover, who might have a motive to see you die, has written about a method of death, and you've subsequently died from the method of death, you would be a prime suspect in the murder of that individual. But in this case, like the chief coroner came over from the United Kingdom and said, the most you can do in this inquiry is you can say it was an unlawful killing. You cannot say it was manslaughter. You cannot say it was murder. So in this purely hypothetical scenario, which may or may not have happened, I don't know, it was ruled an unlawful killing. I'm not a lawyer. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yes. But normally, if you say, like, oh, you bitch, I hope you die in the fire, and then your ex dies in a fire shortly after you've written a letter which could be interpreted as a death threat, that would make you the prime suspect in the murder of the deceased. But because the people involved were above the law, that never went to trial. So this Nigerian case where the son was chained to a bed and then died of dehydration 3 days
So
later.
he's saying he wasn't a Niger. He was the only non-Nigerian prince. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is this was the first case. This Nigerian boy, he was the first case of somebody that's been murdered in the UK. It's gone to trial. The judge has ruled it is murder, but then no sentence was like done afterwards. They're just like, yeah, you're free to go. And good luck to you. I hope you kill more of them, he went on to say, which is a terrible thing for a judge to say. One might say it was a bit biased, but, you know, allegedly it said that. I can't remember the judge's name. What we were talking about?
Don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, isn't it weird? Isn't it just weird?
He's the only non-Nigerian prince. I think that's,
yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Oh, we already talked about the human
this
washing.
One, then? In 1926, a California gem miner claimed to have found a recently fallen meteorite that was the skull of an alien being. His story brings to mind tales of Soviet astronauts who were lost during the space race, their corpses doomed to forever orbit the Earth. Yeah, because they reckon there's a couple of... They're all doomed.
Doomed.
Yeah, it's really weird. All the people who died in the space race were Russian. None of the national ones died, right?
Please don't do that. Oh God.
There's those weird There's those weird accidents that a lot of quite outspoken astronauts died in.
Yeah. Well, no, there were a few actually on NASA's side, actually.
Yeah,
but they
not
were
in not in space though, were they?
Yeah, not in space. Yeah. They were more like, "Oh, this is never going to work. Oh, you're suddenly dead. Okay."
Oh, that's pretty good. They make puns about software meaning lingerie in the case of Lara Croft.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to old Triangle Tits.
She got flat-chested.
Yeah.
Oh.
And a lesbian.
They trooned her out?
Yeah, they made her a lesbian, yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, never mind.
Live long enough to become the villain, you know.
Hmm.
Well, I think I might have accidentally found next week's episode.
Yeah.
Money
that long one when I was trying to do those, you know, those quick fire spooky airport facts, and you went on about that really long story of the suspicious murder or disappearance.
That we had to cut short because it was far too long.
Yeah.
It just went on and on and on and on, didn't it?
Yeah, it went on quite some time. Yeah.
Right, so at 9 o'clock.
But that story. Again, the weird thing about it was just like apparently he became possessed by demons after eating a Chinese, but no one else in the family. They all went to the same buffet, but he was the only one that got possessed by demons, and the rest of them were just like, well, the most sensible thing to do is chain him to a bed. And whilst he shits himself and vomits, we'll not give him any water or food.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, it's like, oh, he's dead now. Okay.
How did this happen?
Yeah.
Why is the government responsible for this? Right, so it's 9 o'clock. We done?
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah, it's good. It's good evening from me and the boys. Remember, stay spooky. I remember, even though ghosts and goblins and fairies are everywhere, sleep safe tonight. I need to have a look at Nick Cook. Do you remember Nick Cook's sign off on Crime Watch?
Yeah.
He goes, remember, this stuff happens, but it's not that common, so don't have nightmares, people.
It's not that common.
Remember, this show can't be shown anymore because it brought up some unfortunate statistics and patterns.
And the police most wanted board was starting to look a bit strange.
It's starting to look a bit like the streets of Mogadishu.
Yeah.
Now, in America, there was a show similar to Crime Watch called Cops, and they had to stop showing that show anymore because it's like look, it's kind of painting minorities in a bad light, what with them being criminal and all. Can we just not do the show anymore? And then the show went away, and there were various people on the left claiming that, look, we need police body cams because all this police brutality, we need them to have body cams to like so that hold the police to account. And now with this cops, they're trying to cancel the body cams, saying like, look, this is showing minorities in a bad light.
Right.
Can I just say I'm really looking forward to Cop Block on Saturday.
Yes. Anyway, good night, people. Stay spooky. Don't have nightmares, or maybe do it. Actually, do have nightmares, because if you're not having nightmares, we haven't done our job properly.
But also try to sleep at night.